Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister from Traction Dynamics. Hey, I wanted to show you a real quick little video on how to remove some of the covers down on the front of the bike, up to the chin of the bike, to include your fog light cover, the cylinder head cover, and the chin down behind your front wheel. And I've already got these off, but just for expeditious purposes, I'm going to assemble the bike in real time and then just talk about it in reverse, what it takes to get them out. So on the chin, there's a little tit here that plugs into a rubber grommet on the front of the motor. If you can see where my finger is, that kind of gets you aligned and gets everything started. So it basically just sits up there, and it's a convenient way to hold it in place while you get things together. So there's an 8mm headed bolt on each side of the cover that holds it in. It's pretty simple. I'm only going to do one side because the opposite is true on the other side. And then there's the top silver bolt on this cover here is also a bolt down point. So you'll need a ball-headed Allen so you can do this, or I just happen to have my bike on a lift. You could turn the wheel to get to this if you didn't have a ball head Allen. But so you turn that in and tighten that. Again, there's one on each side. Let me tighten that. All right, so there's one on each side. Mirror is true. Next is the cylinder head cover. There's a couple of things to this. Starts with this hook tab right there. So you kind of just get it in position on the bike. It's going to go in that little slot there. All right. And so you're going to push it backwards into the slot. And actually, let me show you this first. There's a grommet here that's going to snap onto that tit on top of the motor. This hole is going to go around a boss on the back of the cylinder head, and I'll show you that in a second. And lastly, that tit is going to snap into a window on the bottom. But it starts with this little foot here. So the little foot goes in, then the little foot, get in there. Then the grommet snaps on. Now you're kind of held in place at this point, and you got to line up the bottom of the cover. Tab here goes in, and then that foot snaps. You hear it make a nice positive snap in there. People see these, if you bump this or anything, that tab will pop out, and people are, you are alarmed they see that, but it doesn't mean anything. All right. Now, this is special hardware on this cover that you won't find anywhere else on the Goldwing. You see mini bolts that look like this holding the bodywork on. This one's pretty unique in that it has no shoulder on it. All right. And the reason it has no shoulder is there's an aluminum boss on the cylinder head, and you're going to tighten this bolt down tight to that aluminum boss. So there is no shoulder that aligns this. So I'm trying to do this right-handed, but I'm left-handed. All right, so there's that one. And then up here, again, kind of looks like all the other bolts on the bike, but it's not. This is a 6x1.0 threaded bolt. All the other bolts on the bikes are 5mm threads, so you can see the difference. This one bolt is bigger, and it goes in. It does still use a 5mm Allen wrench to install it for convenience. Honda made that convenient for you. All right, that's all there is to that. Then the fog light cover. Its orientation is pretty obvious, but again, it's got a couple of little alignment tabs that snap in before you get it. It just sets up there, and then once again, here, if you want to come around the other side of me, 2 bolts. Let me get them started in these little pockets. So if you were doing a fog light kit installation, you would need to kind of do some of the things I'm showing you here to get to this. So this little video will help you with those cover removal, installation and removal. These are kind of back in some little pockets. I like to get them started with a ball in, but I have this super long Allen that I bought. It lets me stay away from the bike while I turn the tool as a rule. Not so good in this application, but in a lot of places this way you don't ever spin the head and scratch the bodywork anywhere. So, all right, and just tighten those 2 bolts, and that's it. So the same is true for the other side, nothing different at all. So anyway, that's how you remove the fog light cover, cylinder head cover, and lower chin on the front of the 2018 Goldwing. So this is Max. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share with your friends, and bring some traffic here to our channel. So I appreciate your visiting us. Thanks a lot.